Hey guys, so I'm here on the floor. I've been having back problems on and off, so you're gonna join me on the floor today as I write my sixth blog this semester about collaborative work and how that went in my heritage classes or how it's been going so far. So I'm going to be using Rolf's reflection of what, so what, now what. So let's just get into it. The what of what I did. So a few months ago, I kind of realized that I wanted to mix up my heritage classes a little bit and work more on collaborative work. They struggle a little bit with engagement, or I struggle with engaging them. And I kind of thought, or at least have noticed that anytime we do collaborative work, they tend to be more engaged and focused and contribute. And also, if it's very structured, they tend to do better with that. So giving everyone a job, or for 5 minutes, I'm going to start a timer, you're going to do this, and then the next step is we present it in groups, but really giving them specific directions on what they're going to do. So let's talk about how that went. So for the picture you see here, which is my classroom, I'm going to talk about this work. This was kind of one of the bigger first times that we tried something like this. And so what we did is each class, both my classes, heritage classes right now, are reading a book called En el Bosque, In the Woods. It's a bit of a drama about a high schooler who finds a baby in the woods and thinks it's his sister's because his sister is the one who sent him there, and just finds like a brand new, like newborn baby. And it's kind of his tumultuous emotional experience of trying to decide if he should tell someone who he thinks it is, because they know that he found it, but he just tells them, I was just out riding my bike in the woods, right? Or if he should do something more because we do find out it is his niece. It's his sister's baby. So that's why she sent him out there. And she'd been hiding her pregnancy. A lot of crazy stuff, right? So this is chapter 3 that they were reading at this point, which is when he arrives in the woods. And when he arrives, he hears this cry. So he goes to investigate and he finds a baby. And right here it says that he thinks it's a newborn baby, its eyes are closed, it looks almost dead, and he doesn't know what to do. So what am I supposed to be doing at this point is kind of what he questions himself on. For the students, I thought it'd be kind of interesting to bring in a comparison perspective of what would you do in this situation, and maybe we could do like a discussion around it in collaborative groups. So what I decided to do is throw out these 4 questions to each person individually first, right after we stopped at that point. So it's just like, what would you do with the baby in this moment? What plan would you create to help the baby? What response would you prepare for the questions that are going to be asked to you, right, about this baby? And then do you think it is best to tell the truth if you were Cameron, the main character, or not, and why? Because, again, about like, well, my sister was the one who sent me out there. And then what I chose to do after that is put them in actual pods and have them discuss and narrow down into like one plan, basically, of what they would do. But I gave them specific jobs. So one person's job would be to mediate the questions and make sure everyone talks. And one person's job would be to like write down the general ideas people are thinking of. The other person's job would be to be the speaker afterwards. And then they had to write down who was doing each job. And I also gave them very direct directions that you can see here that were written out, which I always struggle to have enough time to write out nice, long, I know they look long, but when you can just bring up a line and say, this is what's next. And if students have questions, you can just be like, we're just doing this next piece here. Read up there. It kind of moves things along faster. So the one ante up that I did here to increase engagement that I think really made this piece, when I think about the so what and the analysis and evaluation of like how it went, I think the biggest piece was I added what do you call them, clothespins. I bought like a huge set of mini clothespins, and what I did is I gave each student 3 clothespins, and during the discussion, they couldn't speak any English, and anytime they did catch anyone else speaking English, they could steal their clothespin and keep it for themselves, and then at the end, whoever had the most clothespins was like our winner. I think you can even see one of them like right here. The engagement was so high when I did this. It was actually a wonderful experience to see students who I've consistently seen disengagement with engaged in something that felt fun. Like I said, you can see this on their faces that they actually enjoyed this experience. So moving forward, and I've done a few other collaborative things like this, but I don't want this video to get too long, but moving forward, I think the most important part is going to be to not stop doing collaborative work. It can be so easy to get distracted or want to do other things and not realize that you've moved out of that space. I have made permanent class pods. So my seating chart is now pods of desks, and I plan on keeping that. And I think that that's obviously going to push me for collaborative work. I'm already seeing like activities that I've implemented in the past in ways that I've started to change them. Like just yesterday, I thought of things for my Spanish 3 class and this next unit that are going to be very different than the ways I've taught similar units in the past. So I think being really consistent with it. I also think, as I said, the structure is really important. Always having like, if I can, written out directions, step by step, and giving students specific jobs seems to really motivate them to stay on task and keep each other accountable. I also just started talking to my Spanish 3 classes about positivity and interaction. So our classroom expectations, don't really have any piece about collaboration. So this Friday, I think, because we do like a kind of rewards game system with our expectations, I'm thinking about having them analyze and add one or change one to our collaborative work and how we need to interact. And then obviously, if I'm doing this correctly, we would have to, that's what I'm thinking of. I would have to show them what that looks like for them to then practice in the classroom and then build a more positive environment. So I think those things together, and also doing many different collaborative activities, not just one type all the time, but trying to mix it up and also mix up groups. All that's going to come into play here in our last couple of months. And we'll see kind of what else I get to do with it. So thanks for watching.